Video games provide us with a wide variety of characters, from cool badasses to goofy losers, but this week we're showcasing the characters that are fit to make you go, aww. I'm Josh the Top Hat Gamer, and this week we're counting down the 10 most adorable characters in video games. Number 10. Grunt, Mass Effect series. Now I know what you're thinking. Of all the alien races on display in Mass Effect, the Krogans are easily the least adorable. I mean, what would anyone find cute about these towering, bloodthirsty behemoths? Well, Grunt is different. Grunt is my baby boy, and if you played Mass Effect 2, then he was your baby boy too. Grunt is naive and, like all Krogan, particularly enthusiastic when it comes to the subject of violence, but he often requires guidance from Shepard thanks to his lack of real-world experience and the absence of any real parental figures to teach him. It's Grunt's childlike simplicity and unfailing loyalty that make him the most goddamn adorable member of Shepard's ragtag squad of heroes. Number 9. Yoshi, Yoshi series. For a dinosaur, Yoshi is pretty damn cute. I mean, sure, he eats people and transforms them into eggs, which is puzzling at best and disturbing at the very worst, but just look at him. He's so happy all the time. Even that annoying crying baby Mario can't get this dude down. His undying happiness aside, there's plenty more to find adorable about Yoshi, from his ridiculous looking flutter jump to the fact that he wears little boots. It's almost unfair when games like Yoshi's Woolly World boost his cuteness exponentially by turning him into a tiny yarn doll. That game is almost cuteness overload. Number 8. Mei, Overwatch. In a game packed with such a wide variety of characters, it's surprising that Overwatch doesn't have more cute characters. I mean, sure, there's the beep-booping ex-war machine known as Bastion, but top spot for most adorable character in Overwatch hands down has to go to Mei. After all, Mei is Bae, right? She keeps an extremely friendly disposition, despite having lost years of her life stranded in Antarctica, and this personality makes Mei amazingly likable, and her short stature and heavily padded Arctic gear give her overall design a lovable style. Also, she hangs out with a tiny, adorable drone, so that's pretty cool too. Number 7. Roger Jr., Tekken series. The day that video game fighting tournaments stop allowing animals to compete will be a sad day because we'll lose such lovable characters as Roger and his exponentially more adorable son, Roger Jr. Taught by his bioengineered father in the art of boxing, Roger Jr. often battles alongside his mother, sitting comfortably in her pouch as she brings the pain. With that said, it's not as though the charming little Joey doesn't pack a punch in his own right. He's often seen laying the smackdown on his deadbeat dad whenever he hops out of line, which is often, but even so it's hard not to look at the little guy and just want to give him a big hug. Just be wary because, as we know, those gloves aren't just for show. Number 6. Captain Toad, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. The Toads as a race are pretty cute, what with their tiny builds, shrill voices, and teensy little vests, but one stands out from the crowd, and is easily the most adorable. Captain Toad is the Mario World's equivalent to Indiana Jones, and comes prepared for any adventure you could possibly expect, with his little bag and massive headlamp. The good captain may not be able to jump, thanks to his backpack being so packed full of adventure, but he's far more adept at puzzle solving than most of his kind, and though he might panic in the same fashion as his toadstool brethren, he's got courage enough to spare as he faces danger at every turn. There's nothing you could say to stop me from adoring this tiny mushroom Nathan Drake. Number 5. Clank, Ratchet & Clank series. Easily the best sidekick in the history of platforming games, Clank, originally known as XJ0461, was a small defective sentry bot who would eventually go on to save the universe multiple times with his companion and friend, Ratchet. Ever since I first played the Ratchet & Clank games, I have wanted a little robot buddy to hang out with, and it's easy to see why. Clank is absolutely charming, as well as incredibly intelligent. All you really need for Clank to endear himself to you is to hear him talk or laugh. His polite tone and awkwardly nerdy laugh are super lovable, and while Ratchet is fine by himself, he just wouldn't be the same without his adorable robot pal. Number 4. Polar, Crash Bandicoot series. Remember playing Crash Bandicoot 2 back in the day and suddenly coming across that warp door with the polar bear waiting outside? That polar bear is the cutest goddamn animal companion in any game to this very day. Or at least that's what I think. His big black eyes and tiny frame are just so adorable. I don't know what more I need to say. I guess it's rad that he'll give you 30 lives for jumping on him over and over again. It's even better that he made a return to the forefront in the series expansion into the kart racing genre. But really, all that needs to be said is that the little dude is super cute. That's it. Number 3. Sackboy, Little Big Planet series. The tiny knitted protagonists of the Little Big Planet games had me absolutely smitten as soon as I saw him, or her. The drastically emotive faces they pull and the dumb little dances you can make them do made them instantly lovable, and the ability to dress them up as anything from video game characters to superheroes just made them even better. I guarantee you've never seen Solid Snake look so cute in your life. Somehow, Sackboy managed to maintain his position as the most adorable thing about Little Big Planet, despite the series' penchant for simple, cute stories and Stephen Fry's outrageously soothing narration. Just look at him! How could you not love that? Number 2. King Dedede, Kirby series. Now, when people think of adorable games, the Kirby series is always high on their lists, and most people would put Kirby himself on this list as well. But I've always felt that Kirby, while lovable, would never be able to match up to the king of cute himself, King Dedede. Sure, he's the Bowser to Kirby's Mario, but when you look at him in his big fuzzy coat with a constant smile on his beak, you don't get the whole evil dictator vibe. And despite his sorta goofy personality, he looks like he genuinely wants to have a good time with his friends, and I want to give him a big hug. Seriously, how can you not love the Big Oaf? He's the cutest so-called villain in video games, hands down, and in my opinion, he's the most adorable thing to come out of the Kirby games, no doubt. Number 1. Clementine, The Walking Dead. I don't like kids, whether they're real or fictional, and when I picked up the Walking Dead Telltale game, I never expected to find a child character that would actually get me to care about them. But then along comes Clementine with her little hat, her walkie-talkie, and maybe the cutest voice I've ever heard in anything ever. Seeing her bond with main character Lee Everett across the 5 episodes had me undeniably devoted to keeping this kid safe, and little things like cutting her hair or catching her out after she may or may not have licked a salt lick continued to endear little Clem to me. I've not found another child character that has had the same effect on me since. Clementine is by far the most adorable video game character in my eyes, bar none. So there you have it, my top 10 most adorable characters in video games. Obviously these are just my picks, and there are plenty more characters that I haven't even mentioned, so let me know what you would have added in the comments below, and game on.